I'm Stephen Green, I'm National Director of Christian Voice. In January 2015, Benedict Cumberbatch and Stephen Fry, who are actors, sent a letter to the government asking them to pardon 49,000 homosexual men convicted of gross indecency under Section 11 of the Criminal Law Amendment Act 1885, which has since been repealed. Also last month, of course, Stephen Fry launched into a theologically ignorant tirade against God, asking how the Almighty could dare to create every evil and every disease under the sun. I suppose Almighty God also created the iceberg that sank the Titanic, and you can't get much more evil than that. Or can you? Stephen Fry, of course, is a practicing homosexual, and his entourage now includes the new wifey, little Elliot Spencer. Mr. Cumberbatch recently played the homosexual codebreaker Alan Turing in a film. Turing was convicted of gross indecency in 1952 and was pardoned by Her Majesty in 2013. Despite not being that way inclined himself, Mr. Cumberbatch is old-fashioned enough to want to marry his Sophie Hunter before their baby arrives. He has a lot of homosexual friends in the circles in which he moves, and he's getting a bit of a reputation for pro-gay campaigning. Indeed, his latest mission is to replace Charles Darwin with Alan Turing on a £10 note. Although, to be frank, anyone will be better than the man who put the Duracell battery in Richard Dawkins. But back to this call to Her Majesty's government to pardon all men like Turing who've been convicted of gross indecency or what they call other discriminatory anti-gay legislation. Well, I want to support this campaign because this generation of Benedict Cumberbatch and Stephen Fry must be the most sophisticated, intelligent, compassionate and plain clever generation that has ever walked this earth. So it follows that any legislation that has been passed by previous generations must be completely stupid because they were stupid, weren't they? It follows that if something is not against the law now, well, it never should have been. So all the men convicted of doing indecent, unsanitary, unhealthy, abusive and downright dangerous things with other men should obviously be pardoned. Now, a lot of homosexual activity takes place with strangers in public toilets or in open spaces like this picnic area. Gay shows the way what. You know, on reflection, perhaps a pardon is not enough. If Stephen Fry and Mr. Cumberbatch had had their wits about them, they could have been demanding for those men convicted British Empire medals for services to cottaging and cruising. But why stop with homosexual men? Yes, they are a fashionable cause, but what about pornographers and abortionists? What they do and did was legalised in the 1960s, so anyone convicted before those laws were changed clearly needs a pardon. Looking to the future, if a government were ever to legalise cannabis, there could be no end of people up for pardon. And rightly so, Benedict, eh? Uncomfortably, Daniel the prophet said the Antichrist would speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints of the Most High and think to change times and laws. But then, Daniel the prophet lived more than 50 years ago, at least. So we can cheerfully disregard what he had to say, can't we? Can't we?